on getting your stream key reset. I don't want to know.
That would be a really bad time to find out. Just let me know when it should be okay.
Well, we're live again, so I just want to make sure
Yeah.
since we're back
Yeah.
before we start up again.
It's just not internet issues today, I guess.
Well, wasn't that the...
Better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially since it's the weekend, we're not going to be able to one-day ship a replacement card here or something.
Oh, I know. What happened to that, actually?
Well, he didn't do it because it seemed to be stable for lightning turns. So he's like, oh, I guess I don't need to replace the card after all.
And now
it's acting as being.
everybody's blaming Meta.
Welcome to 2020 hindsight.
Alec, while we're doing this, if anybody donates for your choice, what do you want?
For my choice, actually the same thing as last year. Everything's better with Magitech.
Everything is better with Magitech.
Okay, well, we're ready. You are.
Okay. Countdown until Shepard asks what happened. A very appropriate response given the circumstances. 3, 2, 1, go.
About 15.
The beacon exploded. A system overload, maybe. The blast knocked
So welcome to dialogue again.
Williams and Ida
Yeah,
came back here.
I don't know how much of that before you caught, but I skipped fighting the husks at the very end with the beacon and then watched the cutscene and kind of sort of voice acted Saren. More growling.
It was beautiful. You guys really missed out.
Yeah. It's...
We should be
figures.
they heard him like rah right as the stream died.
Yeah. My voice apparently too strong for the stream maybe. And I got distracted there and didn't start running as soon as I could.
Wow.
Oh well.
Wow.
You're okay, Commander.
Sick speed run, bro.
Yeah, stop distracting me with shenanigans.
Can't do.
Anyway, one thing I kind of do when I go through here is I like to pick up some of the codex entries without taking time, simply because it gets them out of the way of the galaxy map.
Good timing, Commander.
And
Just
once
about to
again,
bring us into the
unskippable cutscene,
Citadel.
no,
Using the taxpayer money at work.
nothing I can do about this.
Really nice view though. Citadel is beautiful this time of year.
Yeah. Much better than in winter. I mean, then it's just so dull.
And under attack by spoilers.
Hey, it doesn't take me that long. It's going to take me like a week to save the galaxy here. And that would be even playing through Mass Effect 2 and 3 without even remembering much about how to play through them fast, or anything for 3.
So yeah, until now we've kind of been, doing what seems like a fairly reasonable playthrough of this game. Well, very soon it's going to get kind of unreasonable.
Just saying, you need firearms.
So if you thought that this game, like that speedrunning this game had any semblance of sanity, you're quickly going to be disabused of that notion.
Good thing it's on our side then. Citadel Control, this is SSV Normandy. Requesting
Also
personal
cutscenes.
Yeah, there are a few of them in this run. Not too terribly many, and they tend to be clustered together.
Roger, Alliance Tower, Normandy out.
So I guess it kind of makes it pace nicely. Hopefully. I guess it's up for interpretation.
Well, it does give you some nice rest at least. When you
A little
relax
bit, yeah,
your
you-
head. All that dialogue skipping gets really rough on the wrist.
Nah, not really.
Alec,
What about it?
what resolution?
It should be the default. Yeah, I can try that now if you want to pause the timer for it, I suppose? Okay. It's 1024 by 768 right now.
Yep, that's an option.
Okay.
It has been changed.
All right, now hopefully that doesn't mess up my dialogue skipping, because then I would have to exit the game and redo the I binding which I have I have a file for it, so it'd be pretty quick, but still, hopefully that isn't an issue. Okay. So now I'm going to say that walls are just a suggestion. Crouch here, save, load. And I don't think you're supposed to be here, but whatever. I guess I'm going to... Okay, there we go. Now I can see where I am. Do it again. And this right here, I just crouched and uncrouched, and that's why I'm falling here. That's something you can't do in the console version. You can, however, save and reload, and that will have a similar effect, but you have to fall a certain distance or else you fall through whatever you want to land on, and that is a big problem in a few of the clips.
So welcome to Limbo.
Yeah. This is a place in the game. They didn't really code it, but it's here, and you can go here.
So,
Here too.
So to kind of elaborate on
Oh,
what
and
actually happened
I
there.
got fatigued. I knew I shouldn't have tried to do that extra little sprint there. I actually don't want to be fatigued here because there's a little bit more sprinting I can do here in a second. So yeah, you may or may not recognize this as Flux, seeing that I'm walking on top of it. There's a little thing you can do here in New Game Plus with the right build, and you can throw from basically right here, tech mines, on right by Fist, and then you can go back over there and fall and take him out immediately. That should be good. But I'm just going to clip right into the room, and yeah, I'm still up. That's unfortunate. Oh man, this is really kicking me back fast here. This should work though. You need to get into a pretty specific spot, and here I am. And now I'm going to run over here to trigger Fist, throw, and he's done.
Correct.
Wait! Don't kill me, I surrender!
And I want to make sure that I don't bump the mouse too much here because the Renegade options are slower by several seconds. There are a couple little extra mini cutscenes there. Using barrier here just for safety.
Stop right there!
You can persuade these guys, but whatever, it's faster just to skip the dialogue and run. Once again, using throw there just to hope that one of the guys gets taken out and drops a grenade. Didn't happen. Sometimes it does. And here you're going to see a use of Singularity on these guys to draw them up and out and make them easy to finish. You can do that with Lift too, but it's slightly less reliable. You need to be a little bit more precise with your aim.
Where's the Shadow Broker? Where's Fist?
They'll be here. Where's the evidence?
Shout out to
No
the
way.
Shadow Broker.
The deal's off.
So tempted to throw more spoilers, but
Yeah. So yeah, I
Fist
took
set
him out
me up.
with
Well, I guess
the
they're
initial
dead.
throw. That doesn't always happen, so I wasn't quite expecting it. But now we have the evidence we need
My rite of
that we
passage
don't know we
into
need
adulthood. Most of the core was wiped clean.
to prove that Saren
But
is a
I
traitor.
salvaged something from its audio banks.
so yeah, when Alec
Hold
went
on.
out about
The meeting was a major victory. The beacon has brought us one step closer to finding the conduit. It's a little bit different than I did before, but I don't want to break the stream.
it's all good.
This proves he was involved in the attack.
Almost missed out. Awesome Alec voice acting.
Thanks.
So yeah, when Alec did the clip earlier, he basically skipped a whole lot of crap that you normally have to go through. A big sequence with the council and a long cutscene, and
And you get to see a little bit of it, kinda, because the game doesn't quite know how to handle it and tries to play both cutscenes at once.
yeah, it still wants to tell him all about how he needs to find evidence to convince the council that Saren is bad or whatever.
So it'll try to run both cutscenes at once, which will, in fact, crash the game if you don't do something. So I'm going to do something.
Saren's hiding.
Oh hey, there's some guy.
So yeah,
that I
Saren
know
is
so
hiding
far.
something. we know what he's hiding. And I don't know who that guy is. He probably looks like he wants to join me, given the way the plot is set up, but meh.
His name was Garuz? Something like that?
Something like that. I don't know. He's not important anyway.
Wow.
Come on.
That's insubordination.
Presenting the Quarian's evidence to the council.
It's also irrelevant because he doesn't have
The Geth
a
attack
health
is
value.
of
So yeah,
science.
quick save complete, load.
Good strats.
So that completely bypasses what would have frozen the game.
Quarian's evidence to the council.
Kevin Anderson stuck in Groundhog Day here.
Major victory. Beacon has brought us one step closer to finding the conduit.
And one step closer to the
So yeah, to kind of go into what Alec actually did earlier with that clip. Basically, when you crouch and then save the game, it gets really confused.
And it often just sends you flying way up into the air. Sometimes it clips you through walls. There are all sorts of things you can do with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't work everywhere there's a corner, but there are quite a few places that it does things.
It has kind of peculiar properties, but basically for particular corners, it tends to work the same way. As long as you get in the same position, when you save and reload, you'll kind of have the same thing happen to you each time. And so there's a lot of those throughout this run. Like I said, we're afraid of elevators, so...
It is the
Decision of the Council that you be granted all the powers and privileges of the Special Tactics and Reconnaissance branch of the Citadel. Inspectors are trained, but chosen. Individuals forged in the fire of service and battle. Those whose actions elevate them above the rank and file. Inspectors are an ideal, a symbol, the embodiment of courage, determination, and self-reliance. They are the right hand of the Council, instruments of our will. Inspectors bear a great burden. They are protectors of galactic peace, both our first and last line of defense. The safety of the galaxy is theirs to uphold.
kind of oscillated between...
You're the first human Spectre, Commander. This is a great accomplishment for you and your entire species.
Kind of oscillated between two voices for the
Yeah, I know.
Turian dude. there.
Because I started doing the wrong one and then I realized it and I just kind of winged it. What I meant to do was a Scottish accent there.
You
But oh
kind of
well.
you oscillated between like just plain old normal formal and like southern type.
I know,
It's pretty good.
that's because I started doing the wrong one, like I said. Oh well.
Too bad the Solarian Council doesn't have any lines there. Could have had a third voice.
I did. That was the kind of redneck guy, the Western
Oh,
Texan, I don't know.
I conflated the Turian and the Solarian. Well. They're all the same to me.
They're all filthy non-humans, I suppose. I don't know.
But really, the message of this game is unity among all races.
Unity and love, peace, you know? It's a very calm game as far as those things go.
Also, everything is the Reaper's fault.
And this has been giving me trouble lately after a long time of it never giving me trouble, but it worked first time
Wow.
good.
That was pretty close.
I think it has something to do with loading times and like exactly when you load the right thing.
So yeah, if you played Mass Effect
or when
2,
you start pressing the direction, during the loading screen. So I just kind of waited until the last second and tried my best to time it, and I got it.
I had some problems with that in practice, but
There we go. Now,
no
quick
problem
save
this
complete.
time. And if you played Mass Effect 2, the platform they just landed on high up in the sky is
It's
where
actually
you have
you have a
hot
moment
date
with that
Paris.
with that one guy we saw earlier.
Whoever that
Yeah,
is.
who's irrelevant, so we're not getting him probably. Well, he'll show up, but oh well.
Oh, by the way, we're in
Okay,
the Normandy.
I did hit that. Good. I meant to line myself up a little bit better first before I just jumped down there, but
It's all right, no big deal. They're all good.
split.
Do you need me to get you a button?
No, I just pantomimed hitting it. That's enough for me. So yeah, I'm going to Novaria first. In a New Game Plus run, it doesn't really matter which of Pharos and Novaria you do first. Typically, if you're doing a record attempt, you'd probably do Pharos first just because it's harder to optimize the Thorian fight. but I'm going to Novaria first because I'm only getting one shot at it anyway, and it's closer, so there's a little bit less moving around in the galaxy map.
So,
And
you'll
apparently
notice-
something's wrong with the moon. Whatever, we don't care.
You'll notice that he's specifically not going to pick up Liara, which is a thing that I think a lot of casual players would do first to get Liara.
Yeah, having her makes the cutscenes after Pharaoh's, Novaria, and Vermeer longer, so we get her last. And that's why there's the incentive about her questioning her sanity, because if you do her recruitment mission last of the 4 major missions out on the galaxy, well, she's been sitting where she is trapped for a long time, and that
But
has an
Alec,
effect on people.
I thought you said you were going to save the galaxy in only about a week. Come on.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. That's all I have to say about it. Besides, thirst is a thing, and it doesn't take long for you to get, like, hallucinations from thirst, you know.
Equalizing interior pressure with
Now, I actually
exterior
have equipment for
atmosphere.
Tali, but I'm not going to be using her because of the incentive that got met, the bring both Ashley and Kate into the final battle. So I'm guaranteed to have someone with both lift and tech, which is good enough. So I'm just going to save a little bit of time and only equip the people I'm using.
Hey, you remembered to go left this time.
I did. I like on my last practice run, for whatever reason, I went to the right there, which is slightly slower because it takes a little bit longer to get to and talk to Gianna here.
And how much slower would you say?
A few seconds. But it's still, it's the principle of the thing as
An
much
elevator.
as anything else.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there are elevators on this planet that
I'm
you
so
can't
scared.
avoid. Only a couple though, so no big deal.
Get us out of this elevator, Alec. Please don't make us go in another elevator.
It better not get stuck. That's all I have to say. I don't want to be stuck in here with these two.
These are your squad mates, man. How can you say that?
But they have gas
Oh.
or something. I don't know. I just don't want to be stuck in an elevator with them. Is that so wrong, really?
Yes. So yeah, now you're supposed to go talk to Gianna, right? Gianna? You're supposed to like do some stuff or whatever, right? Like, you know, honestly, I don't even remember. Why don't we just skip all that?
We're supposed to do things here?
I don't know.
Apparently. Well, anyway, there's a little glass wall up here, but walls are just suggestions, so whatever. I'm not going to take that suggestion. I'm just going to clip through it.
There's a good wall. By Gianna.
Yeah. So this can be slightly annoying because of how fast your squad mates do or do not take out these Geth. And I'm going to be shooting the destroyers a little bit and using push there. But I want to be able to sprint up to here and then have... Okay, good. I see the dialogue from Meiko Matsuo. That means that went about as well as it could possibly go. I had full sprint up to the Mako, and why am I zoomed in? What button do I... Yeah, that's right. Okay. I was like, okay, muscle memory and my cognitive functions are not exactly the same. What button do I have to press here?
So here's everybody's favorite vehicle in any video game.
The Mako. It is... The controls are all right, in all honesty, on the Xbox version, which I initially played. They're not on the PC, but, you know, it's one of those things you just have to deal with. So you learn how to be good with it.
I think mostly the problems people have with this thing are they expect it to be a four-wheeled vehicle, and it's really not.
Yeah.
It behaves pretty much exactly how a six-wheeled vehicle would probably actually behave in real life.
And I cut that a little too close. Oh well.
It's alright.
Wow. That was
The
pretty
shield
bad.
trolling.
Yeah. So things like that happen no matter how good you are with the Mako.
I'm kind of surprised you haven't started blowing away some of those dudes with like a rocket. how much they've been trolling you.
Yeah. Well, I got most of them. Still no grenade drops, which is what I really care about there anyway. I don't care about any damage the Mako takes because it's not going to take enough to be any threat. But grenades are nice, and I'm out of them. But, I don't know. In my opinion, the main problem with the Mako stuff is that they just designed these ridiculous the planets with absolutely absurd terrain features. Mountains that are basically
What is
sheer
that?
like that, all over the place. And then you have to climb them or go around, and your first thought isn't to go around because you don't necessarily know where the best place to climb up is, so you just beat your head against a wall, almost literally, trying to climb up them.
The Mako goes crazy if there's even like the slightest bit of a hill, and I think a lot of people don't realize that the hover feature that it has is super handy for kind of negating the effects of those. If you just use it in small bursts, it'll really get the job done.
But yeah, I'm just driving.
It's very cold out here.
Yeah.
There's not a lot else going on.
We might hear Caden or Ashley complain about it in a minute here. They each have a couple lines to that effect.
But yeah, this part of Noveria, man, it'd be real nice if you could skip this.
It would be, but unfortunately, the Peak 15 and Hot Labs and all that are separate maps. The three specific sections basically are separate. You can't really get across there with a clip. You have to use the Mako. You have to follow this long, circuitous, winding route that they have you take. Which isn't as bad as Vermeer, which if you look the map, it's basically a loop.
Yep.
You end up more or less right where you start.
Vermeer is fun.
It's a little ways away. We're coming up on it in a bit, though. I'll let you know.
So do you want to cut it off, or is it?
I was going to cut it off when I do the Benezia clip, which, spoilers, is a glitch.
When you said clip, I think I hope most people will assume that.
One would hope. I mean, if you're watching a speedrunning stream, chances are you know a little bit about it. Not guaranteed, though.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know anything about this here. I've never played this game.
So
in my
yeah,
life.
I shot up at the turret there to make sure that I was in combat so I could sprint a little bit more. Just those little optimizations I do. Ooh, grenade. I'm gonna get another one here in a second anyway. And they're leaving that guy alive. I don't like that. That guy. Okay, my squad mates, please. That was terrible.
It's alright, man. You got medic.
I've gone through this without firing a single shot before, and then that happens.
Why are the turrets facing the wrong
But it's a marathon. I should have expected it.
Welcome to Troll Effect.
Yeah, it is very, very wildly different how good or poorly your squad mates can do in any given fight. I have seen them wreck things way too fast and just be pathetic like that.
Just wait until Benezia, man. There's like
Nope, nope, nope. You are staying here. I want them to stay here because if you don't kill all the Geth here, and they're coming with me anyway, don't finish them off. Don't finish them off. Okay, good. There's one left. Basically, if you finish all the Geth off, then there's a little cutscene that stops where Rachni appear, and you can't go right to the elevator if that happens. However, if there's at least one Geth remaining, you can just go right here and skip it. So yeah, this is a reliability strat right here where I run up here and use throw to take all of them out, and it didn't take all of them out. But it took the annoying ones out, so that's good. There are a
Yeah,
couple
all
that
the-
tend
all
to
the
like
ones.
to just kind of get stuck behind there and they don't come out after you, and it's annoying.
So just as
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Oh wait,
Ladies and
I can't
gentlemen,
really touch the
okay.
sky anymore. It's getting out of reach. That's unfortunate.
And this is a
I
lovely
wanted to touch the
skybox.
sky.
Literally, skybox. It's a box.
So yeah, this one obviously sent you up pretty high, so you have to fall for a while.
A while.
A while. Do you have any wheat thins?
Stop acting weird.
That doesn't even have an H in it. So yeah, you use this thing here to line yourself up appropriately.
So this skips a huge chunk of crap, and this is gonna get him. Right to the tram.
Yep. And then here I have to be a little bit careful because it is possible to have to reload there. But
We're all
went
good.
smoothly. Bump.
Yes.
And a little
Pretty
bit of a
much.
freak out there. I've maintained that freak out all the way to the load before.
So yeah, this game doesn't really get less broken than this.
Not at all.
You can pretty much clip everywhere if you'd like. Not all the clips are useful. You're seeing basically all the most useful ones. And grenade sprint.
Yep.
So a thing that he's been talking about a lot is finding grenades from monsters. Obviously, you have a limited supply of grenades. So there's two ways you can kind of get into sprint. One is obviously grenading yourself, and the other one is getting into combat. Getting into combat's not always possible, so you want to use grenades when that's the case, but if at all possible, if there are monsters, you definitely want those rather than the grenades, because, again, limited supply.
Captain Ventralis, language. This is a PG stream. You don't have to shoot them that much, but my squad mates just trolled me. So I'm going to do a little bit more damage than I need to.
And then you're going to abandon Captain Ventralis.
Yep. Although you normally do that anyway, you just do that fight, and you have to have the Rachni get finished off. And once again, I believe I can fly, I believe I can touch the sky. So yeah, I already did that once. It's not as funny the second time around.
Well, why don't you sing more lyrics from that?
Because I don't know them?
Really?
Nope.
I wouldn't fly, I believe I can touch the sky.
So yeah, at this clip I'm going to take out my weapon, which
I
is actually
believe in
kind of
night and
important,
day,
and I have
spread my
myself
wings and fly away.
and I have
That's what it
myself
is.
lined up here. This clip used to be pretty inconsistent, but you can just cancel your momentum once you get in the right spot, and it's fairly easy to line up once you get the hang of it.
And the right spot was what?
Right here.
I mean, what's your visual cue that you're using here?
That thing that you see on the very bottom of my mini-map. I want to pass by just a very specific piece of it and then get to a little bit of a range where it's just going off the screen.
What was that X indicating anyway?
Oh yeah, and cutoff. For saving the Rachni Queen or not.
By the way, here's Benezia.
Did you hear? Okay. Yeah. Benezia can be pretty trolly, and there's a chance that you can soft lock your game here. I have a strategy that's pretty reliable.
Please
Let's
don't
see
soft lock.
if it works on the marathon.
Got it.
Saber? All right. Okay, I want them to go, no, farther, farther. Okay, that's not a good start. I didn't want to have to use throw there. But if you don't get the positioning for your squad mates quickly, then I'm going to use Singularity here to prevent getting thrown by the commando there. Like I said, backup strats. That's why I use this build. I probably had the positioning right the first time. I just second-guessed myself.
That was not too bad for the backup strats.
Yeah. Although I was a bit sloppy on the last part. And I didn't dodge that in time.
That's irritating when that
Yeah.
happens. That's kind of the main irritation of this fight is just biotics that they use. Like, ugh.
And that one apparently didn't get thrown off the map like I thought.
I don't know how you didn't hit that.
No, it hit the throw. I hit it, hit that commando with the throw. She just didn't fly off.